because I will say, like, when I started planting food plots, like, I just, dropped a disc or a drag and went to town, and I didn't fertilize, I didn't lime, I didn't do any of that stuff, and most of my food plots look like shit, at the end of the day. And there's other factors involved in that, but yeah, it'll be cool because it's one of those things, to your point, is I think almost everything about food plots is subjective. There's very little things that are happening around food plots besides, like, if you have no rain, you have no food plot. Other than that, wide open. Do you disc it? Do you no-till it? Do you drag? Do you just frost seed? Like, I don't know.
I've got some decent sized food plots, some as big as 3-4 acres of beans. And I've hunted all of them in some capacity over the past 4 or 5 years that we've been planting those and stuff. And I've never once got the impression, whether from hunting or from running trail cameras on them, that they were spending significant amount of time in any of those plots. Where I do, like, in the big ag fields, like, I'll get pictures of that deer 2-3 times throughout the course of a night that would indicate to me that the deer is actually just spending most of the midnight hours in this bigger field. I really do think that it seems like the size and location of some of these destination food plots are as, if not more important than what's actually planted in them.
For where I hunt, like, there are no crops. Like, I'm going to try to establish some beans, but man, I can picture it already, which is kind of exciting, but, like, there's just going to be a mower of deer to just come and just destroy all my beans.
Shoot them.
Basically a stem plot.
Yeah. So, and listen, at the end of the day, the landowner, so I guess anybody that's working with landowners in these situations, I said, I'm okay with that, right? At the end of the day, if we get to August and my bean plots are stems, right? They're mowed down. That they served a purpose. They provided high quality protein. I'd love for them to pot it out, but they didn't. So I'm just going to disc it under, and I'll plant an awesome annual plot, right? And we did this every year.
I don't think you'll need to. I don't think you need to disc them under. I think, because
what are you doing?
You can glypho it again.
Like, kill my beans.
No, they should be Roundup ready.
And
then just broadcast oats.
Yep.
Or rye.
Straight through
that's
them.
what I do. I just double crop.
So just leave them up.
Yeah, because they won't get completely demolished by the time the season rolls around. They probably will be just short, and, like, you'll get some pods low.
Okay. Yeah, I don't plant beans.
I recommend. I've had some really good luck with those real world beans. They work really well, and you'll get pods. And if by the time the season rolls around, or it's time to plant, oats, or brass, you kind of make a decision as based on the weather. If you're like, well, yeah, looks good.
I think that's a good point to touch on, because, like, with deer grow, we get calls all the time on guys, like, trying to select those indeterminate growing beans that have that longer growing season versus the kind of real world conventional bean with, like, more pod production. And they're, like, trying to question what that is, or where, for, like, Ohio or, like, Kentucky on your lease, like, an eagle bead might be really good if you're trying to do some velvet.
Mainly because I've got green forage early in the season.
And you can hold those deer on somewhat of a summer pattern.
At the end of the day, though, if you have the choice, and this is for anyone, and I've done it, is you need pods.
Well, I've done both.
You can have the double crop factor still.
Exactly.
And those eagle beans might not turn fast enough to be able to, because I always do it even on the
shaded out
lands. I don't have the land, like, to do food plots, so I'll always just make sure it's okay with the farmer right before those leaves fall. As they're turning yellow, I'll just go in there and cover crop, and then those leaves will fall. You get a first rain, they'll have excellent germination. But
that is the main difference that I saw was, like, because Eagle seed was the very first bean seed that I planted, and I did that for 2 years, and both years they grew phenomenally. Like,
lots of green, big forage, and that's what they're known for, is forage beans.
Really tall, and it did seem to stay green and attractive to the deer for longer.
Yeah, once they start to turn.
Yeah, almost into mid-October. These things were green.